million a year. Not to be rude, but that would not pay my jet fuel.
That's my favorite line in the entire presentation.
Yo, that's amazing.
All right, welcome back to Hype Hooligans. This is Michael F. Schein. I am here with Steve Maloy. So for those of you who don't know me, I am the author of the Hype Handbook. I'm the founder of Microfame Media. Steve Maloy is a very, very funny stand-up comedian. And today we're going to be reacting to a motivational clip by motivational speaker and author Ed Mylett. Ed Mylett, according to what I've researched, is apparently worth hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. But other than being a motivational speaker and writer, telling people how to be worth hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, he was a member of worked for a company called World Financial Group, which is a very generic name, and I don't know what that is. So we're going to find out about this guy. So Steve, you want to say hi?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm as excited as you guys are to find out what Ed's whole thing is. I personally have never heard of him, but he sounds incredibly successful.
Very successful. Let's find out how successful and how you too can be successful.
I want to talk about you, though. We got 1 hour. We're going to max out this hour. I want this hour to change your life. I want you to never forget it because I want to help you. The reason I want to help you is I am you. I started out in door-to-door sales by mistake, but I did, and it changed my life. I admire what you're doing. I want you to understand that. I know what you're doing. I did it for years. You can track back a $500 million net worth for me now to knocking on doors when I was a 21-year-old kid. So those of you guys in this room with a dream to do something great with your life, and you're kind of average and ordinary, maybe you're not the smartest dude in the world or the biggest dude in the world, but you want to do something great with your life, maybe I can be an example of that. Because I know what it's like not to feel great about what you're doing, to doubt whether you're doing this. And I just got to tell you something. I'm an example this stuff pays off. How many of you have a big dream you want to make come true in your life? Something special you want to do? Okay, me too. And I got bigger ones. Let me tell you what everybody's dream is. Put it in your note. I don't care if you sell pest control, security, solar, insurance. I don't care what it is. Guess what they want? You ready? And guess what you want? You want to be happier. You got to link everything to people's happiness. You think that's ridiculous. So I'm going to kill some termites. They're going to be happier. Yep. They think if you did pest control, at the end of the day, the greatest influencers get the people want to be happier. All of you want to be happier. You think if I become a millionaire, I'll be happier. If I get that baller jet, I'll be happier. If I'm making 100 grand, I'll be happier. If I lose 30 pounds, I'll be happier. If I protect my family with security, my family will be happier. People want to be happier. A couple ironic things about closing and selling that you may not have ever been told before, but I'm going to tell you.
All right, I got to stop. How you feeling? Do you feel happier?
Yeah, I'm actually a lot happier already. He's really doing what he promised. What I think is hilarious is how at the very beginning he's like, let's max out this hour. If I were participating in this talk, I would be a little bit worried that he doesn't know how to do that already. You know, like, how'd you make your 500 million? It's like right before you start, you're like, all right, let's max it out. And then spends the first 5 minutes talking about me and his happiness.
Yeah, and I love how he throws into the middle of these things like, protect your family, have happiness. You want to have that baller jet. And so like that's just one of these things that, most people are going for their happiness, a private jet.
That's what would make me happy.
Me too. All right, let's see.
People don't have to believe what you're saying. Is that crazy? People do not have to believe what you're saying. In fact, too many of you spend too much time trying to get people to believe what you're saying. And you come across like a beggar because of it. You seem desperate. Who's ever trained you to get people to believe what you're saying doesn't get influence. There's a subtle difference that the great ones know. And you've probably never been told this before, but I know it. And persuasion is not about...
I just have to say, because he's a great one. So this is a hype strategy. So first of all, the guy comes up here with the big guns, with the tribal tattoos and the type thing, screaming like this. And then he talks about the great ones have the secret. And I know. I call that become a magus. If you can put yourself up here as this larger than life figure, that goes very, very far for persuading people. Yeah.
And you can hear it in the audience's tone when at the beginning he's hyping him up and he's like, we're going to do great. And you hear the guys going, yeah. Like, I started out as a door salesman. Like, yeah. And then he's like, whoever taught you how to convince people of stuff, they're shit. And they're like, oh yeah, I am shit.
Right.
Like he was talking about being a door-to-door salesman. I feel like when you meet someone like this one-on-one, they're usually a little too intimidating / pathetic to like take seriously. You're like, why are you being so extra in this moment? But when you get a big group around you, suddenly you look around, everyone's listening and paying attention to what he's saying. You're like, oh, okay, I guess I'll keep listening then, you know?
About getting people to believe what you're saying. You ready? Persuasion is about getting people to believe you believe what you're saying. That's a subtle difference, brother. That's a subtle difference, sister. If you start to think through, I need to get people to believe I believe this, not to get them to believe it. People buy things all the time they don't believe. People buy things all the time they don't understand. That's okay. We want to educate, we want to train, but they don't have to believe everything you're saying. If they have to do that, you're going to look like you're begging all the time. They got to believe you believe it. That's a different intention. The most certain person always influences the less certain person. When you're exchanging with a recruiter or a client, they're either going to close you or you're going to close them. And that's certainty. Certainty is influence. And you can't transfer to me something that you're not experiencing for real. You have to really believe it. You got to really be a crusader. You got to really understand it. When you really believe something, you can transfer that certainty to me. Everybody with me on that? Say yes. This is a huge deal. It's a huge deal that you need to begin to understand that persuasion is they believe you believe what you're saying. I love that most people don't take anything seriously. I love that most people aren't coachable. I love that most people don't do what I teach or that anybody teaches. I love that. That's how certain people win. Half y'all haven't written a damn word down I've said. If you were in my team, I'd slap the hell out of you. I don't say that disrespectfully. I say this as a dipshit who had a Velcroed car. I don't say that talking down to you. I say, wake up! You want to win? You want to be a millionaire? You got to quit.
It's a great one too, of just pointing out, looking out at the audience and seeing that no one's writing anything down and being like, if you're not writing anything down, I'd slap the shit out of you.
There was this experiment years ago where they looked at different cults, that one of the tactics that they did, and they replicated this in a lab, if you introduce a tiny little bit of pain into an otherwise pleasurable experience, it enhances the bond, right? So that's the whole idea of like Andy Warhol, when he would throw his happenings, if he just saw people grooving and dancing, he would put a discordant noise. So this whole idea of like in the middle of this motivational speech, screaming at the audience about what pieces of shit they are, it's a seduction thing. It's like you beat your wife and then hand them the one red rose, right?
Exactly. It is very interesting watching his tactics as a stand-up comedian because, you know, so often I refer to stand-up as like a bar trick because of these tactics that he's using. If you don't do it genuinely for the love of the humor, you're just manipulating people. It's like they do that in stand-up all the time, of you crowd work the drunk heckler and you're extra mean, and then everyone loves it a little bit more when you go back to the funny jokes. Or people believing that you believe something. That's in stand-up, we call that misdirection. If you can get someone to believe what you're saying long enough, and then you say something that is obviously not true to everyone thinks it's a gas. What he's talking about is just mass manipulation.
No, but that's so fascinating. I mean, you're giving me about 6 ideas for articles here. To me, it's like some people are funny, some people aren't. You know how to work a crowd. But the fact that you guys are actually up there thinking about the psychology of the crowd, that's never really occurred to me. That's really fascinating. All right, let's get screamed at some more.
Quit being so casual. You walk slow, you talk slow, you implement things slow, you talk a good game like you're going to be somebody.
Helen Hansel was able to win any competition she took part in. She was known as the contest queen because she had won 7 trips to Paris.
Like you're gonna
Wow, that ad really just killed it for me. I mean, screaming probably works much better in person.
Make hundreds of thousands of dollars. You can't even write a note down. You're going to get your ass kicked in business, dude. Business is a sport. It's competitive. You got to get focused and get in a hurry. You around a dude like me, we will smash your organization. We come to play. We're for real. What are you? Cool? I've seen all kinds of cool guys my whole career. Cool guys go broke. Cool guys have little flashes in the pan.
I don't think David Bowie was ever broke.
No, I don't think so.
He was cool.
I wish someone would come up to me and say that. What are you? Cool? That would make my week.
I know. It's like you're all happy. What are you, cool? And you're like, nothing. Cool guys so broke.
Damn it. I
was
cool.
happy. You increased my happiness for one
Really
second, you know?
You really made me think I was cool there for a second. And then I thought I'm going to be broke.
They have a good 2 or 3 years. Players who implement strategies that get focused and intense, they win decades. They win multiple championships. You win for 2 or 3 years. You know how many guys I've known that have made money for 2, 3, 4 years that are ass broke now? You got to win year after year after year to be a player in business. I'm almost 50 years old, man. I was 21 driving that car. It's a Saturday. I spoke yesterday. I land tonight and go speak for Goldie Hawn tonight. Monday I get up, I've got a loaded calendar. I'm after it. I'm not casual, I want to win. You're too damn casual. You hear me? Wake up, brother. I want you to kind of feel like, man, I want to be a multimillionaire. How do these people think? What do they do?
That idea of fetishizing work, of saying, you know, I work around the clock and that's what you need to do. It's very funny because a lot of these gurus do that. They really push the work, and a lot of the people that follow them do the work. Very few entrepreneurial people are actually lazy, depending on, regardless of all this screaming. But what it does is when people are following that advice and they don't succeed anyway because it takes so much more, they crave more of the guru stuff. They blame themselves because, you know, you're kind of screaming at them and saying you're not working hard enough. So it can't be Ed Mylett's fault that he's selling a bunch of nothing. It's that I'm not working hard enough.
Attitude like. I have enough humility to talk frankly with you. I'm a Christian, man. I'm your brother. Let me explain what that means to you. I'm no better than you. Same God that made you made me. I don't love my kids more than you love your kids. If you make some of these adjustments, man, you could change your life. You could change your family forever. It's not casual. Your family tree, let's show you know something. You meet somebody wealthy, their family at one point was not wealthy. And then the one shows up. The one. One person changes the family tree forever. In my family, I'm the one. And it wasn't because I wanted it or I hoped for it.
One thought on this is, like, on the cult level, he's just breaking you away from everyone close to you.
Right.
Just being like, your whole family, they didn't do shit before you showed up, and now you're better than them thanks to me. Your girlfriend, your boss, none of these people care about you. I care about you.
I mean, he literally just called himself the one. Like the guy from The Matrix or Harry Potter.
Right. While talking about how he's a Christian, which my upbringing in Catholicism tells me you're really not supposed to do that, you know?
I'm the one. Yeah, I think there's already a one.
Hey, I'm a Christian and I'm the one. So I'm literally Jesus.
I fought for it. I fight for the inches. Give me the info. Tell me what to tweak. I like that evangelist thing. Man, that stuff about influence is awesome. I thought he was smarter than me. Turns out he's dumber than me. I want to win. I want to fight for my family. I want my mom and dad proud of me. I want my kids proud of me. I want me proud of me. I want to look in the mirror and be happy with the man I look back at, that he gave it everything, that he went for it. Everything he's got. That's what I want for you. I want you to be happy with you, not cool, where you fake it and front it for everybody here. I mean, when you're alone and you're brushing your teeth, you're driving in the car, you look up and go, I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you, brother. I'm proud of you, sister, and you feel it. That's what I want for you. And every once in a while, you need someone to come along and go, come on, let's go. I don't care what level you're at. I'm talking to me as much as I'm talking.
I just want to say, this guy's really jangling my nerves. I think I'm too casual because I feel like I'm actually like jacked up in a negative way here. Like I'm like more nervous now.
Yeah, it's that tone. Just he does not let a lot of room between words or sentences go. So you're just kind of always in yelling position.
I'm a little scared that we're doing this video because like one punch from this guy, if he ever like tracks me down, I'd die on impact, I think.
Talking to you. All kinds of things I ain't doing like I need to be doing. You can change the chapters in the book of your life if you want to. There's a book being written about you. Even if you don't have faith, would you agree someone's probably paying attention to that you're here? Yes or no? Yes? You can decide, you and God, or you, if whatever you believe, you're the author. You can turn the page just like Max did on that golf course. I'm no longer that guy. I'm going to walk different, talk different, think different.
Let me tell you a story about my friend Max. He was on the golf course, and then he was going door to door on that golf course trying to get a hole in one, and he never did it because he's weak like you guys. Sorry, all right, go ahead.
Door to door. He has a door behind him. I just realized the connection. Yeah. Look at that.
You see this right here? I would go from one of these to another one every day. Loser.
Like you, but
like
better.
It might be a year, 2, 3 before you make your putt. It might be a year, 2, 3, 4 before you get your big win, but you could decide now, I'm going to walk, talk, and be a different person. You decide that. You're the lead character in the story of your life. But too many of you let what I call the extras of life dictate where you're going. You know the extras, you watch a movie, at the end they got the lead characters, then at the end it's like cab driver number 2, bouncer number 3. You don't even know their damn names. But in your life, you let those people dictate what you do. You're afraid to knock the door. You're afraid to go for it because cab driver number 2 in your life might reject you. How about you start playing the game for the main characters? Your mom, your dad, your children, you. That's who you play the game for. You all hear me? At some point, you got to stop negotiating the price and decide your will to win is not for sale. Here's the truth. Most people's dreams can be bought. With enough failure, with enough rejection, they will sell their children's dreams. They can't still fight. They can get a little bit, but when it gets a little too hot, they go, boom, sold, buy the dream, you can have it. It's not worth it to me. And their will to win is buyable. You can buy it with a little success or a whole bunch of failure. Most people will sell their will to win. Some of you have sold it because you're making a little bit of money. You don't work like you did when you were making nothing. You're not after it like when you were broke. Now you got your 50, 100, 200, 300, 400 measly dollars a year, $1 million a year. Not to be rude, but that would not pay my jet fuel.
That's my favorite line in the entire presentation.
Yo, that's amazing. Like you could see that on a t-shirt, like you couldn't even afford my jet fuel or something on like a hat or whatever. Like he's just merching out his concepts. Everyone loves someone who speaks clearly. It ends every point. Every point gets to the point. And that is very helpful in stand-up. When you start talking like this, when you start hitting that point, the punchline sits right here. You know, that's sort of ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. And it's nice to think about it of like, if you could do this for climate change or for social justice movements or something like that, it would be great. But I think the most difficult part as a comedian is drawing that line between honesty and being bombastic on stage. And
that's the challenge. Yeah.
You think you're making a lot of money compared to what? But you sold your win for a little couple success. Some of you will sell your win for some failure. You're probably buyable. But if you decide at this meeting, my will cannot be bought. I don't care how long it takes, you can't buy this dude out. I'll keep fighting for my family. I'm the one. I'm going to change my family tree forever. That's the decision. Decide now. You're going to keep negotiating the price, or can you not be bought? Let me tell you something, man. I have this hallucination that when I die, I'm a Christian. Even though you didn't know it from my language today, God forgive me. I'm a sinner saved by God's grace, okay? But let me say something to you. I think when I die, when I meet him, he's going to go, well done, good and faithful servant. But I got this other feeling. I think he introduces us to who we were capable of being, who he made you in his image and likeness, the woman or man you were capable. I think he introduces me. Hey, Ed, I want you to meet this guy right here. This is the man I made you to be. These are the places you could have gone, the experiences you could have had, the people you could have helped, the moments, the memories, the way you feel about you, what you could have had, that's the guy right there. And when I meet that dude, I want to go, man, I've been chasing your ass all my life. All my life. And what I want is him to go, bro, I've been watching you.
Bro.
I'm proud of you, man. You caught me. You did it. You got off track a bunch of times, but you kept getting back on track. Every decision I made was to catch that guy.
Sorry. I'm a little bit confused on, in fairness, he does call it a hallucination because this does sound bad
This
shit.
is most certainly a hallucination, yeah.
That God keeps the best version of us around in heaven to come up to us and then say, I'm really proud of you. You're doing a great job. If this is peak me, I'm definitely not saying to a shittier version of me, great job. That doesn't sound like heaven at all. It sounds like hell. God just, here's a shitty version of you. Here's a version of you that did heroin. Here's a version of you that threw out a baby. It's like, good job, dude. I've been seeing.
He threw out a baby. Well, what you're missing here, Steve, is that the best and worst versions of Ed Mylett are exactly the same because he is the one.
That's true. It's just an infinite room of him doing, and he's actually probably thinking that he's the best version. So he's saying to that guy, "No, I've been watching you, and I'm proud of you."
I also think the idea of God saying, "Bro,
I don't want to get out of this life when I'm an old man and I'm done here and not have maxed out my life. I'm chasing that dude." And to me, heaven would be you catch him. Hell will be you meet that man you were capable of being and you're total strangers. You want to live with that the rest of eternity? Forever? You didn't become the dude. You didn't have the happiness, the peace, the joy, the moments, the memories, the contribution, the family pride that you could have had. You need to decide. You want to live forever in heaven or hell? And you get to control that. You get to make those decisions. If you'll do all the things that we talked about today, you can change your life.
So it's just like on the cult aspect, he does seem to be wrapping it in that religion thing.
He is quite literally saying that not only is this something you should do for your professional success, this is how you achieve salvation.
You're in a great industry with great people. This is a great time to be in this economy. And if this Velcroed together Mercedes driving dude can do it, so can you. So can you. The question is whether or not you'll have the courage to step up and fight for your family and do something great. And if you're willing to fight, follow me on social and I'll help you with the fight. It would be my honor to stand with you, man, and your family and just help out a little bit. If I can give you some strength, some inspiration, some tactics, some stuff on the brain, some strategies, I'm here to help you, dude, because we need you to do something great with your life. You were born to do something special with your life. You're not average. You're not ordinary. You were born to do something extraordinary. Amen? I'm over on my time. God bless you. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
I love that line of stuff on the brain. Every jock's one true nemesis, the brain. You need stuff on your brain? Brain make you think too much? Good. I'll help you.
Yeah, and everyone wants to think they're special, right? So after bashing you and tearing you apart, then he says you're not average, right? Like all 250 people in this audience are above average. But if you follow me and you have the courage to not be lazy, which I'm sure none of those people are, they're at a motivational talk.
Right.
The way to really get there is to follow me. It doesn't work well without the persona. He's really done a good job. You know, Elizabeth Holmes, that woman that is going to jail now, she lowered her voice to be more authoritative. That was one of the famous things. So this whole, you know, Tony Robbins does that too. It makes you really follow a certain kind of person is attracted to that. It's very definitive and authoritative.
Which is strange when he has that authoritative tone the entire speech, but then at the end he also goes, hey, if this Velcroed together piece of shit who drives a Mercedes can do it, which is like, well, what are you talking about with the Mercedes? What are you trying to say about yourself here? If I can do it, you can do it too. It was just like, I'm the best and I'm Christ incarnate. Also, I'm a piece of shit and you can outdo me.
Well, listen, I think I'm over on my time, Steve. So where can people find you if they want to learn more about the stuff you're working on, your comedy and everything else?
Yeah, come check out all my stuff out on stevemaloy.com, STEVEMALOY.com. Got a lot of stand-up and sketch videos on there. Got some commercials I've made or helped write, which is, sort of corporate America's version of doing what this guy did. You can also send out a message to me directly, cyber stalk me if you'd like. Send me some sweater suggestions. But yeah, we got all sorts of stuff.
And I gotta say, guys, if you want salvation through me, please subscribe to this channel and buy the Hype Handbook at Amazon, and all of your greatest hopes and dreams will be realized.
I've got 9 copies myself. Can't get enough of them.
Buy 12.
Is that what you told me to say, right?
No. All right, guys. Until next time, thanks for coming to Hype Hooligans.